This is Mani here with another episode. This is episode 11 of our AI GTM Talk series. I'm calling in from Washington, D.C., out here for an event, but super excited to introduce to you guys our speaker for this week. Actually, we also have a speaker and uh, my good friend and growth marketing advisor to Kwanzaa, Pratibha Jain, who will be moderating the discussion. We kicked off this series really to focus on, clearing up a lot of the confusion around AI and how it's transforming go-to-market. We bring on some amazing AI GTM tech founders, seasoned revenue leaders who are actively implementing AI for their go-to-market strategies. That being the focus of this discussion, let me now turn it over to Pratibha Jain, and she'll be leading the session today. Pratibha, over to you, and I'll be in background mode. Thanks, guys. Hope you have a great session.
Awesome. Thanks, Mani. Again, welcome everyone. Super excited to be hosting the session today. A quick background on the series if somebody's new and they haven't joined the session before. As Mani said, right, this is a series that was launched by Kwanzaa a couple of months ago. And we invite either a tech founder and explore the cool AI GTM tech they're building, or a revenue leader who shares about how they're using AI in their go-to-market strategy. Let me introduce myself a little bit. So I'm Pratibha Jain. Once again, I have led growth marketing and demand gen in the San Francisco Bay Area for almost 19 years at B2B companies, all the way from early stage startups to large public companies as well. Before I introduce Katie, let me just get a couple of housekeeping items out of the way. So we'd love to get as much audience participation as possible and answer your questions. So please enter anything you'd like to ask Katie in the chat. I'll pause periodically and we'll get the questions answered. The session will be posted on the Kwanzaa site. So if you aren't able to stay for the whole session or want to share it with somebody else in your network, you can always find it there. Our past sessions as well as upcoming sessions are also available on the Kwanzaa site. With that, let's get started. Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, great to have you here. Why don't we start with you introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about what Simplified does?
Sure. Hey, everyone, morning or evening, depending on where you are dialing in from. Really excited to be part of this AI and GTM talks, where Konzu is getting a lot of sharing and wealth of knowledge from all of us. I'm KD Deshpande. I'm founder and CEO of Simplified. Simplified is AI-powered content creation platform built for marketers, marketing teams, and businesses. We help teams to go from idea to published content across video, design, writing, social media, all in one app. Um, Whether it is a social post, ad creative, or a blog, you can plan, schedule everything in a one seamless workflow, all powered by AI workflows and agents. And we'll talk through different and all the learnings we had over past 5+ years.
That's a great intro. Sounds really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing the product also a little bit. But let's start about and talk a little bit about who's the ideal customer you're going for, right? And you could define that in terms of segments or personas or industries, like whatever's relevant.
So let me just probably take a step back and give you how did we even started. What was the story behind inspiration? So my background, I this is my third startup, and I worked in the marketing tech for the last 15+ years. And what I noticed, we lost simplicity, and we made tremendous progress from like pen brush to Photoshop, and but we lost the simplicity along the way. So with that inspiration in mind, I was like, we need something simple, which is accessible to marketeers when it comes to create content. Fortune 500 companies have a lot of resources, but they still struggle when it comes to creating content. Small businesses don't have resources, they are not digitally savvy, they don't have time. So with that thesis in mind, we started. Now when I say when we started Simplified, I almost say like GPT, pre-GPT. and post GPD because time is moving so fast. So we started around that time. Today we serve primarily we serve busy marketers, creators, small business owners who lack time and resources, or marketing teams that are looking to scale content, on brand content across their all different channels. Or like this is like primarily we are serving. Or most of the buying groups typically includes heads of marketing, content leads, social media managers who are looking to deliver on brand content across like omni-channel marketing.
As a demand gen and growth marketing leader, I can tell you content is so important to run any of those campaigns. And what you said, I can absolutely relate to that because it's so hard to get the right type, the right quality of content, and at the right time that you need it, right, to launch those campaigns. So that's super exciting. Katie, I really like to learn by seeing and watching the product, and I'm sure a lot of people in the audience would love to see a demo of the product as well. So, could you do a quick walkthrough of the simplified product?
Sure. So considering like this is about a lot of education, and we want to educate the community about GTM, so I put together like few slides. If you don't mind, I would love to share them and talk about that to set the stage.
Absolutely. Let's start there.
All right. So I think most favorite question when you see your where can you see my screen? Uh, all right.
Yes.
So let me put this in slideshow mode. Let's first understand marketing mindset, and feel free to ask me any questions. So traditionally, old school marketers are focused on impression and clicks. That's kind of the traditional wisdom. But new school growth marketers are now focused on conversion and revenue. How many of you agree? You can also put in a comment. The old school marketers, we all were obsessed with like it could be CRM, it could be paid ads, it could be your email, like social content. We were focused on like how many impressions I'm getting, how many conversions I'm driving, while how many clicks I'm getting. Most of the stack which we've been using was to do that, but modern marketers are now driven by like conversion and how everything we are doing correlates to the revenue. But if you look at customers mindset is slightly different, and especially over the last, it feels like a decade, but it's too good to be true. In last 4 years, customers mindset is actually changing. In the past, customers were searching for specific terms, like they were looking for marketing strategies. Let's say if we are a customer looking for marketing strategies, we were looking for like marketing strategies would be would search for like best social media marketing tips for 2022. They had to shift through like sniff through multiple articles, blogs, forums to find the useful information. And we were like and everyone was like trying to find different information, make the sense of it. Today customers look for an answer with the chat gpt, perplexity, google gemini, across like these all open ai. um, Instead of like searching manually, we all ask questions: what are the best social media marketing strategies in 2024 and 25? And ai provides you a very structured, tailored response um, that answers the way you ask, and eliminate the need of extensive browsing. So I have seen, because we are very big on seo at simplified, and we have noticed like significant drop in number of clicks, but the impression share. So I was chatting with google pm, trying to understand what's happening. And in general, um, across the board, the number of clicks went down. If you have, I'm sure you also noticed that. But but the impressions share are increased. It's because people are with the ai overviews. People are not necessarily going to a link or click specific information though. So there is a change in customers mindset, and tomorrow customers will expect results. AI, in this case, AI, and we are already seeing that glimpses of that with operator, Manus, OpenAI's O3 series, where you won't just ask for strategies, you will ask AI to perform the task. For example, generate a 30 days social media calendar based on my brand voice. I have seen this shift over last 4+ years firsthand. When we started building Simplified, and we integrated GPT 2.0 or like 3.5 Instruct. Initially it was about just like, okay, this is wow, it allowing me to generate some text, but it's more now that shift from like it just generate text and writes an email to more like, can you create on brand content and how, in my own brand voice. So as a consumer or as a customer, you have to see your consumers are changing. It's a strategic shift from where they are now. The paradigm shift is real. Your customers are looking for the answer, and you need to be there, across. And if we when we say you need to be there, it is not just search, it is not just chat. It is a cohesive 360-degree content strategy. Content is no longer liability; it's an asset, and as a marketing leaders, you need to start thinking like that, and start thinking about how AI can help. We need to focus on answer everywhere optimization, as a marketing team. But when we say everywhere, it is all these channels plus TikTok plus YouTube plus every single touch point where your consumers are producing content or consuming content. First, you need to understand how AI is talking about your brand. um, then you need to also think about how you want AI to talk about your brand. And the third thing is, it's no longer about just long tail keywords. You need to deliver value, build a brand, authenticity, and increased exposure. But how will you achieve that as a GTM leader, as a marketing leader? There is a significant shift, how AI is reshaping SEO and overall content strategy. You need to think from like, what is the impact? A better understanding of like search content intent, create content that directly answers users intent and needs. You need to create different type of content rather than just like spray painting your content. You need to think about what is the value it is going to provide to my audience, understand their intent, deeper analysis for quality content, data driven blogs. If you're just using AI, and I'll talk about the examples as well, like, because most of the LinkedIn or the demos which we see on the feed, they are merely demos. I tried creating, use all these workflows and create production ready system, and I failed miserably, um, because it lacks context. So when you are building, you have to think about what is your brand, what is the intent of the user. Think from the top of the funnel. Now this seems a lot to do. I mean, your marketing team definitely needs superpowers to keep up. It's not an easy task. It's a definitely tall order task. So how will you do it? Your marketing team already has creative intuition. They know your brand. They also have strategic judgment, but they need to scale 24 by 7, deliver content at scale, keep the speed and repetitive, avoid that repetitive execution, which we spend like so much time. Most of the content writers should start thinking of becoming content moderators and use AI more efficiently, so that way you can deliver value to your organization. And I know that you've been reading like me. You are also consuming a lot of content on all the channels. Everyone is talking about agents. Everyone is talking about AI workflows. Every CMO out there is thinking, how can I leverage AI into my workflow on processes? And many times when in many CMOs conversations, simple framework I've been telling them is anything that is boring, that is time consuming and intensive, um, which is repetitive, it's a good candidate for AI plus human combination. If you just rely on AI right now, maybe in next six, I'm saying six, but let's say in 6 to 12 months, you can fully offload things to AI. But right now, building thousands of AI workflows, AI agents, I can tell you AI plus human gives marketing superpowers. That's how we see it. But how can we bring this combination? So at Simplified, our team, when we started, our team was like really small, and still to the date, our team is very small for that is maintaining like long tail landing pages. So while building this product Simplified, we realized that one large language model cannot do the job end to end, like particular task. It can do probably 60-70% of the job. And each one of you experienced this thing, why by using ChatGPT, creating projects. But at the end of the day, it's not the job that is, it's not about like whether it is an agentic workflow, AI agents, AI workflows. It's all about the process which you are following and where you can deploy AI. And to solve that problem, we have built simplified AI workflows as it's as a to give superpowers to growth marketing teams. It's a reusable, no code AI workflow that slots into your existing processes. With our drag and drop builder, you can automate multi-step tasks without writing a single line of code. And I will probably this might be our first public preview after working deploying it in production for many different brands. With your drag and drop builder, there is no learning curve. It's a very minimal learning curve. You'll have agents or workflows that can listen, learn, and act, so your team can focus on ideas. And it is AI plus we together will evolve this process, and it is a connected ecosystem and produces brand safe outputs trained on your brand books, knowledge bases for consistent brand voice and visuals. So that way, every time you produce or automate your go to market motion, you have consistent access and consistent looking, consistent producing design content, video content, any type of content. Or you can automate a lot of marketing ops processes as well. So what are the superpowers you will get? First, idea to publish in minutes, like which will be like 70% faster content turnaround. Omni-channel consistency, which is like write once and adopt everywhere. Social and SEO harmony. Most of the time, when marketing departments, paid, SEO, and social, they remain in silos. With combination of AI, you can bring AI workflows that feed insights back and forth. It can reduce like 30% cost of your acquisition. And most importantly, and I whether in your existing processes, human override, human oversight is really important. So that way you don't go off the radar. And it can start from like solo marketers to global teams. And we definitely like as Pratibha said, we are also big believer of show don't tell. So let's jump into the actual demo and how this thing works. So when you log in into Simplified dashboard, this is available as a part of, we have like a lot of off the shelf products to manage your social media management, AI writing, video, podcast, graphics design. And workflows is something for high end marketers. So first thing which we usually ask anyone who wants to use workflows is making sure that AI understands your brand is really important. So, and setting up your brand is fairly straightforward. You just enter a URL and AI builds a full brand for you, from like brand, audiences, typography, colors, assets. So that way you're almost giving sort of a guideline for AI on how we pursue our brand, so that way it won't hallucinate. You can define, and once this is the first thing you set up, then the next important thing is, because this is more like when you hire an employee, we give them one pager or like two pagers. explaining them how our organization operates. So you should start thinking AI as like extra pair of hands that is going to make your life easier. Then second thing is giving memory, like knowledge bases. So for example, you can provide all the past marketing material, documents, websites, so that way AI has more context. So if we correlate this with as if like onboarding an employee, brand book is more like giving them a badge to enter the room. Knowledge base is more like giving access to like your Wikipedia or like Jira, and asking them read these 10 documents before you start your job. And as an employee, third thing which we do is give them access to tools. So you can create a new agent. Again, you can use AI to generate an agent. Just describe what you want AI to do, and AI will build the agent for you. And the once you create an AI agent, you can give them access to different tools. For example, you can say you have access to world news, you have access to Google search, you can script my website, you can schedule my page, you have access to my brand book, social media analysis, search stock photos. So once it is done, your AI agent is ready to do the job. But now you have an AI agent that does a specific job. But marketing, to create marketing content, on brand content, it takes a village to do it. Um, so let's say, for example, you have a podcast or like this webinar, for an example. And now, once this webinar is now completed, someone from Konzu team basically take that webinar and go through the editing efforts, repurposing, writing newsletters, writing blogs, writing all pieces of content, and then publish it all social media channels. If some like Konzo team is smart, they are already using these AI workflows, but on an average, it takes any decent sized team like 3 to 7 days to polish the content, get it approvals and review. But what if we can reduce that time from like our days to maybe hours or probably minutes? And I'm going to show you a workflow builder that can accomplish the whole thing in minutes. So um, this is our workflow builder. So in this case, Pod Pilot is like autopilot for your podcast. So for example here, and I'll talk about behind the scene, but once you build the workflow, you will see a form like this. You can easily input, you can upload all your content. For example, I'm choosing GTM fund, enter the name of the podcast, enter the episode name, uploading the file or give an URL, enter the host name, guest name. You can also scrape this from the web and just hit start. Now, once you hit start, it starts executing that particular workflow, and within, let's say, few minutes, you will see entire workflow completed. Will send you a notification, but it will build a complete episode summary exactly the way you want it to write, because this is a custom tailored AI workflow for busy marketers. It also writes the newsletters. It can push the content to your WordPress wherever you want. So, for example, let's open. I'll show you one more workflow, and then I'll probably jump into the under the hood pieces. We also have templates. For example, these are pre-populated templates, a very marketing focused template. So I can just enter any website and ask it to do the scraping as well as do analysis. So these are tasks AI is performing, where it is scraping the web page, and then advertising strategies is actually doing analysis on that one particular page. So most of the teams are building these workflows in house, because this fits into your processes. So for example, it analyzed the page and it is giving me a breakdown on what areas this particular page lacks like the capabilities, and where you need to improve it significantly. So imagine, like, rather than spending hours in optimizing, going back and forth, your first draft can be written and automated with AI. And how do you build these workflows? So for example, I can just clone this template, and behind the scene there are workflows. You can start any workflow, and then you can give access to, either you can call different agents, or you can add different actions, like I want to do a web scraping, or I want to use generate images, transcriptions, translate text, or call different AI agents to do the perform task. So it's not a, one size fits all. Every organization is different, and the goal with which we are, the why we are building delegate flow, or why we build delegate flow first in place, we built it to solve our own problem. We've been building a lot of AI tools over past 4 plus years, and we realized that we are repeating ourselves every time. And to solve those problems, we end up in building this as an internal tool, and then eventually realized the modern definition of agentic workflows actually meets to it is quite similar to what we have built. And we opened this for selected partners and customer, and feedback has been extremely positive. So that's how we see it. And this is kind of a very 30,000 feet overview on how we are seeing. It's a fully connected ecosystem. We are You can automate from your day-to-day processes to any complex workflows, from like all marketing processes. And you have copilot like cursor that you can just define in the natural language to build these complex workflows. So it's a very high level overview of like how we are thinking about the world, how we are how we see the world. You can automate your blog writing, podcast repurposing, or even lead nurturing. You can automate. The goal of delegate flow is no code, built by marketers, built for marketers,
Yeah.
and not. That's how we are thinking about this whole system, because the
Wow.
future is about AI-driven, outcome focused marketing. Um,
Katie, this has been wonderful. Obviously, a lot to take in, a lot of different use cases. And what I love about it is the simplicity, right? A marketer doesn't need to really know coding, or uh, doesn't need to like engage a developer, right, to actually use the platform. So absolutely love it. Were you going to wrap up with this slide, or is there
yeah, I
any?
think that, like, just putting, in case you are interested, you can scan this code and schedule a call. We will review your existing processes and help you build workflows that fits into your marketing processes. So looking forward to meeting many of you. Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
that's kind of how we are thinking about the world, and it is well tested. It's a battle tested stuff, because most of simplified workflows today actually run using no code workflows. So we are our own customers. We are dog fooding stuff, even money, and we are exploring different ways to work together, so that way you can save a lot of engineering time, and we can give the best of GTM experience for customers.
Absolutely. I was going to actually ask you to walk through a use case, but I think during your slide presentation and also the demo you just showed us, you talked about that. But is there anything else you'd like to add in that context?
Yeah, sure. There are, I mean, the AI is shifting the content creation from like manual, resource heavy process to an automated, feedback driven workflows. Instead of like one off tool, we are seeing a lot of, it should act like a team member, and you have to invest in these
Mhm.
building workflows, because there is one notion, based on my experience in this field. Most of the marketers are looking for like quick wins, like just copying some workflows and trying to fit into their stuff. And then most of the time, let's say I tried every workflow which you see on N8 or like other places. Most of them are like very generic workflows. So you need to start thinking, it's like how It fits into like my planning, my process with marketers in the loop. And it's not about replacing marketers. I think that's the it's about making one person feel like a team of 10. It's about having those, giving those superpowers to marketing teams. I think that's the notion we need to start operating under, and make sure that that's, if you apply that framework, usually it takes time, rinse and repeat, to do this process. Understanding that whole process is the key.
Yeah. So different companies price their, products differently, right? It could be either based on usage, based on, platform-based price, and so on. What can customers or prospects, right, expect in terms of pricing from Simplified?
Yeah, so we have, I mean, to be honest, we are also evolving our pricing as we speak. We have off the shelf product as well that anyone can just sign up and DIY, like do it yourself stuff. But typically for serious marketers who are looking to we usually do 3 months pilot, so that way we can work with them. Our plans are primarily usage based, so once you see the output, then so that way it is a value for your money, depending on what processes you are automating. And there are many other factors like what kind of content you are creating. And we are trying to help customers with like white glove services, so that way it should not feel like jaded or like too complex to start with. Even though there is AI copilot that can build a lot of these processes for you, but we want to work with you to understand like what is your process is unique. That's something you have rinse and repeated as a seasoned marketing leader. You know who knows better than you, Pratibha, which is every marketing team has their rhythm, their regime, how they operate these processes. So our goal is be part of like that regime, that whole workflow system without interruption. So that's how we are thinking. We are working and doing this GTM conversation with leaders who are looking to automate their system. It's almost like a crawl, walk, run process.
Oh, I love that. And really understanding, right, what the brand is and creating the content that's relevant to that particular company and to their use cases is really important. Um, can you talk a little bit about the integration of your technology into your typical, customer environment, right? Are there any common integration points? And if there are, what are those?
Yeah. So at a high level, we the way we think about it is AI layer. So we integrate with state of art all the models from like OpenAI, from GPT now 3.4.0, they rolled it back, but all the models, Gemini, all the Gemini models. So that's then Anthropic, like so you can connect with what suits you. Then image generation models from like Google Imagen, Flux, all available Imagen models. Then we also connect with like all the marketing stacks like HubSpot, Webflow, WordPress, so that way you can create and push content anywhere. Or like Zapier and webhooks for like custom workflows, or all social media channels like Meta, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. So that way it's a cohesive strategy. When you are thinking about your next campaign, it won't be a siloed effort. You'll have AI plus the whole thing working together, pushing the content on all the channels at once. And the workflows are super robust. You can connect with anything you want. You can bring your own keys to keep the cost low or moderate. So that's where we say is like, if you're looking for a quick win, we have self-serve product. You can come in and turnkey on. If you're looking to sort of like think your marketing operation and looking for that investment, usually we recommend customers to do a 3 months pilot to see the yield in the most obvious areas.
Now, Katie, do you also integrate with the CRMs and with some of the sales tools like Outreach and all of those?
We do
Okay.
self we are also adding integration with Conzo. So It will be really interesting for the personalization of the content. We do integrate with all the state of art CRMs, so that way you can do some lead enrichment and start pushing the content in these places.
Okay. Seems like a pretty robust technology stack, and I'm sure you're still building and finding other integration points.
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about the go-to-market motions you're pursuing. Right. What's helping you drive awareness and customer adoption?
So, Simplified started as a very prosumer product, because we started in 2020, like right there when like GPT was just Chat GPT and AI was taking off. So it's self-serve product, and we like this whole product we end up in building for ourselves, for our SEO teams, so that way they can scale the product. So our traditional is very product led PLG motion, where get users in and show them value fast. um, and then usually, once these people come in, oftentimes people want to automate their workflows. So most of our users come through inbound funnel, and then mostly founder led, community led marketing like LinkedIn content, live demos, webinars, that is helping us get other leads. And then eventually, for more serious buyers, it is teams that are exploring to scale marketing or deploy GTM efforts to automate their processes. We work with them. We do some targeted out like webinars, workshops. I mean, giving away to community is the best way we are seeing. Sharing our knowledge, what we learn, and do's and don'ts in the AI space, because we have seeing this AI wave over last 4 or 5 years. We understand where AI can hallucinate, what needs to be tweaked, how you should write the prompt. So giving away, like my mantra is like, just make sure that you give away so much. You educate with the knowledge, like spread the knowledge, so that way the community can benefit.
Yeah, I think educating and nurturing the audience is probably one of the best ways to get them interested and excited, right, about the problem you're solving.
And
Um,
we are dog fooding our own food. We are creating more content across
yeah,
all the channels, which is more resonating with the audiences.
right. And are there any particular like types of content that you see most of your customers create or ask for? Like, are there any themes you're seeing in there?
Yeah, so we have seen like kind of three pillars, I would say. Most of the media, like podcast, is an emerging category. But most of the podcasters like ourselves, we are using, let's say, Restream or Zoom.
Yeah.
We They are using the recordings like this, which are not necessarily meant for like two people podcast. This is like a remote webinar. They are using our products to repurpose this content, to create it from 16 by 9 like YouTube style to more like TikTok style bite-sized content, quite frequently, scheduling and publishing. The second category which we are saying is like more social media. People are so what we have seen a big change in social media. It used to be very, you have a big follower and you most of the content on your feed was about that follower or like the people you follow. But last probably 18 months, it's all about micro influencers and your interest. It's almost like Netflix. What's happening on social media is like a Netflix. If I like certain channel, Netflix will surface more stuff. So social media is doing exactly the same thing, especially on Instagram and TikTok. When you consume one type of content, it surfaces that kind of content. So we are seeing people following that same playbook in the marketing as well. And then other things are more like automating marketing ops. Recently we work with, like literally 2 days back, we worked with the agent conference, which is happening right now in New York. All their creatives are done using AI workflows. So Simon, who is a founder and CEO of Firsthand, we are partner with him, and all the creatives needed for events we created using AI. In just 2 days, all the creatives were ready, and he was proudly putting them on all the slides. It saved like a lot of hours in that repetitive in doing the repetitive task.
Yeah, awesome. As you also said, Katie, there is so much that's changing in this space, literally, every day, every week. I'm wondering, what do you see as the future of AI for GTM in the next foreseeable future, right? Whether it's a few months, a few weeks, a year, whatever you want to forecast.
I think right now we are still in exploration mode. Lot of like people are there are no so right now it is more like let's can we generate some content, can will it work in my workflows. That's where most of the companies are. In next 12 months I would see more adoption of like brand trained agents into your workflows that understand your tone, goal, and performance history, so that way it can be more effective. And probably next, let's say, 12 to 18 months, from the co-pilot, AI will become more of a collaborative, where it can adjusting your campaigns in real time, even suggesting like GTM pivots, how you should think. What you will just give a goal, and AI will come up with like first draft. Uh, it's almost like marketing automation. If you look at the history back in the day, when marketing automation came first time, we all were scared, like, okay, what's going to happen? I think that's where the marketing is right now. They know that this is going to be beneficial. They all are using ChatGPT, Perplexity, all of these in different tools. What Cursor, Windsurf is doing to development, maybe like automating code, similar stuff is going to happen in AI for marketeers as well. Where, as I said, like it's not about just using AI Copilot as like give me your strategy. It will be more like go execute my strategy and just tell me,
Mhm.
get me a push notification once the first draft marketing campaign is ready. Then I will review it, make those changes, and then give a final say. And eventually I'll put that. It's all like Tesla autopilot. First you feel like, first time when you sit in the car like Wemo, you feel like, okay, this car is going to drive, maybe it will crash. But once you try like 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you feel more comfortable. I think that's the transition we are going to get through. um, I mean, that's how I see this whole system. And start small, look at your processes, don't go for like don't boil the ocean, because there is a hype and there is a reality. So focus on like what is more pressing and then solve that problem.
Yeah, that's great. And I feel like there's so many different use cases being discovered, so many different, obviously, tools, etc., that are coming up that I'm also very interested in seeing how this all evolves. Let's wrap up with one final question. So obviously, different companies are at different stages of AI adoption, right? Some that are very far along, some that are probably not even started but are thinking about it, right? So, what is your advice to a company who is just getting started or thinking about getting started with AI?
I think that's a great question. If you're a GTM leader, marketing exec, heard these fancy terms like agent, AI workflows, everything, for like for the sake of conversation, keep them aside. Start with a real problem, not just like the long bucket list. Start like look at the your marketing stack, look at the team, skills on the team, and ask yourself like what is the real problem we want. Not AI for the sake of it, but is it going to solve the problem? And think about assigning jobs to AI, not just tasks. More like, can this AI handle our content calendar? Can it expedite creation process? And most importantly, create feedback loops early on, so that way AI can learn. And this is a process, like you have to optimize this workflow so much. Experiment it, team up, pair up with the right people who understand stuff, and then don't wait to be perfect. For example, launch small pilots, measure and iterate. So I have recently, 2 days back, I have posted on LinkedIn, I built an AI agent to do all my social media manager, and I failed badly. On day one it worked like really great, but day through it started posting like repetitive content. It has no sense of calendar, it has no sense of like what platforms. So then I took the other approach and fixed those, and now I have seen like almost close to like 35 to 37% increase in engagement, because AI has more context, AI is brand aware, and it has the feedback loop. So TLDR is like start small, um, like launch like small pilots, and rinse and repeat, so that way you can measure and iterate your processes. So that way you will have like those expectations like properly set, and have measurable KPIs, like okay, what, why we are even deploying. Is it not just the cost? It should not become a cost center. At the end of day, AI is here to reduce the cost and make us more efficient, and not just like one line item in your P&L.
Yeah, that's a really great point. I mean, you really need to think about like what is the purpose, right, with which you're actually deploying that, and then make sure that you're measuring like, are you reducing productivity? Are you reducing your costs? Are you reducing, headcount or whatever that might be? Awesome. Well, Katie, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Lots of great insights here. We are ready to wrap up here. I will go ahead and share one final slide that shows how folks can get in touch with us. And yeah, we will wrap here. Thank you for tuning in. Mani, if you're still on and have anything you want to ask or share, please go ahead. Otherwise, we will wrap here. Thanks again, Katie, and thanks for everyone for joining.
Yeah, thank you, Pratibha, thank you, Mani, for inviting me and giving an opportunity to share 2 cents. If you really loved it, feel free to DM me or drop me an email. Happy to share what did we do wrong and share our